Nice field, dirty driveway. So I'm going to give a video on the rotary cleaner, the whirl-away. I've been asked many questions about these, their effectiveness, so I thought I'd do a video. Mine lives on the roof of the van, inside, so it can be a bit of a pain to get out. It's not my go-to tool of choice when cleaning. I do tend to find that it just lacks that little bit of oomph, especially on block paving. Now something like this, concrete, absolutely ideal. You can rip through it. The only downsides to these, they do take up a lot of space in the van. So because it's on the roof, I don't tend to use it perhaps as often as I should. And one of the big downsides to one of these as well is if you're doing a patio or a driveway that's got mortar joints, you will find that obviously once you've set the power on your washer, you can't really control it. So unlike with the lance, you know, if you find you've got a little dodgy bit of mortar coming up, you can ease your distance away from the slabs in order not to damage it. But obviously with the rotary cleaner, it's the same distance from the floor at all times, same pressure, so you are inclined to tear up the mortar a lot more if you do have issues with the soundness of the joints. So anyway, this is my 18-inch whirl-away. I like this one. I think you can get a 20-inch. I think they do a 14 or a 16-inch as well. Not too sure, but anyway, this one I like because it's got the casters on it, so you can wheel it around. Some of the other ones haven't. They've got like a brush bed around the outside, so the thing kind of hovers. This one's quite nice because obviously it does just wheel around. So anyway, have a quick look at it. I'm sure if you're interested in these, you'll find more information online. This one, I believe, is around, I don't know, 450 to 500, something like that. Can't remember exactly. But you'll see that's what it is underneath. You've got your spinny bar. Obviously got nozzles either side. This works in the same principle. If you see my double-headed turbo nozzle video, obviously you've got two jets, so basically you have to alter the jet sizes to accommodate, you know, to suit your washer. So obviously my washer runs an 065 jet, so you'd have to say 070 and then split the jets in half, so you'd use two 035 jets, which if you look very carefully you might just be able to see. Just going to focus. 035, 25 degree. You really have to check these when you buy them. Some companies you buy them from will jet them according to your washer. Otherwise you may find they've been sent out with two 020 or 025 jets in. So you have to double check that, because obviously if the jets aren't right, you'll have power issues. These I do tend to run at a higher power. So once you start reaching on sort of full whack, full throttle, you'll find that you'll get pressure issues if your nozzles aren't the correct size. If they're too small, you'll find that it will cut in and out. Probably your safety release valve or your unloader valve will start kicking in, because you'll get pressure issues because it's obviously not jetted correctly. Sorry, with a snotty nose today. So yeah, basically a spinny arm, spins really, really fast. Works in the same principle as the turbo nozzle. The head up here is adjustable. You can move the arm up and down to get the correct height. This one's also, you can split it in here, which is what I do for the van, and then I added a 1/4-inch quick release up here so that I can just disconnect and I can separate the handle from the rest of it, because it is a massive beast when it goes in the van. It takes up less space that way. So right, I'm going to connect this up. I'm going to fire the washer up and give you a quick demo on what it can do. Back in a minute. Right, so we are hooked up. we are ready to go. I'm running this on about 3/4 throttle. So let's see what we can do. You'll find on here another, I've got my little Velcro strap on here, saves keep holding the trigger in. You'll see one of them on one of my other videos. I think it might be on the triggers. Excuse my hand. Again, me and my one-handedness. So here we go. It's been a while since I've used this, hopefully it's going to work. You'll notice you have to make quite slowish passes. The good thing about these is they don't spray as much as a Lance. It's actually been a while since I've used this one, so they are great on concrete, but if you've got anything that's got a little bit of dodgy mortar, you'll be losing it. You can't really see it on the floor, but if you move quickly, you'll see you'll get striping. So you normally have to make at least 2 passes over each section, unless of course you're walking really, really slowly. Obviously, being circular, you'll find that when you get to a wall and you go up the wall, it's obviously when it runs away, you'll see obviously it won't get to the wall, so you're going to have to cut the edges in by hand anyway. So it's a bit of a downside. I'm doing sort of quite a reasonable size concrete. I've got another bit over there to do, hence the reason why I've broke this out. So hopefully it'll make my life easier. Yeah, as you can see, it is quite dirty. It's a bit difficult to see because obviously it is wet, but it is coming up quite clean. You'll probably notice it more if I just show you down here. We'll hit this bit in a little while. It's a bit dirtier down here, look, by the front door and up there. So I'll come back to you in a bit when I've got down here and I've cleaned it all up and you can see how well this turns out. Okay, so the clean on this side has been done. I've rinsed this bit down and you can see massive difference. I've cleaned the other side, just got to rinse it. I've had a bit of interest in my rinse down nozzle, so I thought I'll give you a quick demonstration of it. People have been asking me what it is. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Come on, focus. It's not going to focus. Well, it's my rinse down nozzle. Bloody thing. So I have my hose on a ball valve. So it's just a chemical nozzle. I think it's about 60-degree chemical nozzle. And this is what it does. So it sprays, nice wide angle, absolutely perfect for rinsing down when you're done. It's a lot more controlled than using the Lance. Obviously the Lance under pressure just ends up blowing the muck everywhere again that you've just cleaned. With this you can just casually rinse it down. No muck, no mess, no spray. Brilliant bit of kit. You can make one yourself. Just buy yourself a brass chemical nozzle. and just use the appropriate connectors for it to fit the end of your hose. Whether you're using, obviously mine's 3/8, so it's got a connector on there, so I can connect the 1/4 inch to the 3/8. So you can rinse down. It's quite powerful as well, so it picks up most of the leftover muck. Without making more mess for you to clean up. So yeah, there it is. Make one yourself, save yourself a lot of grief. You might be able to buy one, you might be able to find someone who makes them. You never know, maybe eBay or something, but it'd probably be cheaper just to make your own one. So there. I'll come back when it's done. Everything's done. All the clean's done, rinse down's done. Quick look around this side, I think it's starting to dry. Yeah, it's just starting to dry off now. A lot brighter, because that's the neighbours. So there you go, concrete, nice and easy. whirl-away, ideal for concrete situations like this. But obviously, you know, anything you do, make sure you assess it first. A little tip for you if you are, you know, setting up doing this kind of thing for a business. When it comes to quoting for jobs, whenever you're quoting on a patio or a driveway that is mortared, so you've got crazy paved, natural, anything like that, if there's, you know, sand, cement, mortar lines, always check the cement lines, make sure if they're sound. If they're not, obviously you've got to advise the customer, tell them that, you know, your joints aren't particularly great, you're bound to lose a bit of mortar. You know, if you're okay at mixing up a bit of sand and cement, then obviously, you know, you can add that to the quote. But otherwise, just make sure the customer is aware that, you know, there is a potential to lose mortar. The last thing you want is to start the job, start losing all this mortar, and then the customer's unhappy because half the joint lines have disappeared off their patio. So it's always well worth just double checking the mortar lines. If you find there is weeds or a lot of moss growing on the joint lines, it's a good indication that they are cracked. Weeds will obviously grow through the joint lines if there's cracks in them. So if there is some heavy weeds, it's a good indication that the mortar joints aren't particularly great in that area. So obviously have a good poke and a play around there. Make sure they are sound before you give your final quote. Well, that's it for me for now. Any questions or comments regarding concrete or the whirl-away, please feel free to ask any questions. Happy cleaning.